Hello YouTubers, RogueMonkeyJr here, and first and foremost, happy Halloween to everybody, as the Q&A is coming out on October 31st, so I hope you all had your fill of candy and horror movies. So the monthly Q&A last month, we had too few questions, so I decided to push it back to the month of October. I've already talked about this. If there's not enough questions, it's always going to be like every second month. But now we have quite a few questions lined up, so without further ado, let's get stuck right into this. So the first question comes to us from KingCraft12 Player. So Jesus, your first Battlefield title was 1942. Wow, that's really awesome. You are an old school Battlefield player, but what was your favorite title? I would have to say that my favorite title is probably Battlefield 4. It is the game that I put the most hours in out of pretty much all of the games I've ever played. It's the game where I had the most fun playing with my friends as a squad, doing all these tactics and crazy stuff to get wins. So I would have to say that Battlefield 4 is definitely my favorite title out of all the Battlefield games out there. If I put nostalgia aside, of course. Next, we have a question from Grobart Falke. I probably butchered her name, I apologize. What do you prefer, medic or support? I would have to say that I'm mostly a medic player. It's always been like really what I've played in all of the Battlefield titles and even other games that require some sort of healing or a support type role that heals your teammates. So in Overwatch, I was always playing Zenyatta, which is a support role that heals. In World of Warcraft, when I played that, I played a restoration druid. So it's always been kind of my thing to play the medic or healer in any games that I actually played for longer periods of time. And of course, more often than not, the medic class in Battlefield always had the better weapons, except maybe in Battlefield 1, but in Battlefield 4 you had access to the assault rifles, which are probably the best class of weapons in that game, so I always gravitated towards medic more than anything else. Next, we have a question from Cravetta. So, what did you study? Was it helpful or a waste of money? If yes, is eating cold pizza for breakfast bad for me? I limit myself to 6/4 slices. Okay, so first and foremost, I studied nutrition in college, then I started studying microbiology and immunology at the University of Montreal, in which I got my minor's degree. And was it helpful or a waste of money? I don't ever think that studying or getting more knowledge is actually a waste of money. It can feel like a waste of money if you don't actually work in the field for which you got your diploma, but I'm still glad that I went to school and got the degrees that I did get. I don't really work in something that has to do with that field per se, but I don't think it was a waste of money. And is eating cold pizza for breakfast bad for me? It depends what you put on it. Next, we have a question from our community moderator, Parabellum. Question for your Q&A. Will you donate $1 to the Egg Roar Foundation? So, yes, I will even donate $2 to the Egg Roar Foundation. If you don't know what that reference is, then you need to scour YouTube and hopefully find out. Next, we have a question from Magpie. Question for Q&A. Do you think BFV will be a success after the bad marketing and trailers? So, I hate to be the skeptical or pessimistic person, but I really don't know if Battlefield 5 will be a success. I think for EA it won't. It'll probably sell a lot less than previous Battlefield titles. The gunplay and the gameplay is good, but unfortunately they've made a lot of bad decisions concerning Battlefield 5 and the World War II theme. So is it going to be a success long term? It's hard to tell. A lot of people are really disappointed with what Battlefield 5 has to offer and Battlefield has to offer this year, and I don't think it's going to be a financial success for EA and DICE either, despite all their efforts to make up for the bad marketing, shitty trailers, and lack of information and just general bad decisions that they made from the reveal of Battlefield 5 up until now. Next, we have a question from Luka Kurik. I probably didn't say that right either, I apologize. What do you think about Firestorm and Battlefield 5? Will you be playing it? Yes, I will most definitely be trying it out. I think it would be better if it was a standalone title altogether that was maybe free to play, because a lot of the people who play Battlefield want to play Battlefield for the core game modes, and a lot of people who would be interested in something like Firestorm aren't willing to pay maybe like $60 just to have access to that singular Battle Royale game mode. I'll be playing it a little bit, but I've kind of been straying away from Battle Royale titles lately. None of them really give me what I'm looking for out of a Battle Royale title. PUBG really ruined everything for me. Like Battle Royale wise, it was the game that I played the most, and it they just didn't put the work into making it a game that is in a playable state at a full release title. So I just started straying away from Battle Royale titles. I played a few here and there, but none of them really stuck with me like PUBG did for so long. So maybe Battlefield will bring me back into that. I haven't tried Call of Duty Blackout because same thing for me. I want to try the Blackout mode, but I don't want to buy the full release of COD Black Ops 4. So I think it would be better for them to make a standalone Battle Royale title, but that's just my personal opinion. And yes, I will be playing it, but maybe not as much as the classic game modes in Battlefield. So next we have a question from Dark Viper Sniper, quite a long one. RogueMonkeyJr, my question is regarding the ammo play DICE is looking for Battlefield 5. They say it's more teamwork based and lowering the amount of ammo you start with, so like BF1 players hunting out ammo instead of playing the objective. Do you feel players will be put off by this or not, as I found myself putting my first task in getting more ammo before heading to the objective, as ammo seems to be a big issue for Battlefield 5. So I think that the intent behind the ammo scarcity was to make players play as a squad and more teamwork involved in, you know, getting to firefights and not having one person just be a lone wolf one-man army. I don't think it was implemented properly, and for me, I was doing the same as you, always making my first task go to get the ammo as opposed to getting into combat and going to play the objectives. So I think that there is a lot of tweaking to do with the ammo scarcity. I know for a fact that they increased the amount of ammo that you actually start with, so the amount of magazines that you have available to you right off the bat when you spawn, and I think they also increased the amount of magazines you can store total for different weapon classes. So it's going to change from weapon class to weapon class. So I think they're doing a lot of work to actually tweak it so that it's at a sweet spot, that you don't feel like you have to go get ammo right off the bat when you spawn, that you can just jump in, go to the objective, and then when you start running out of ammo, then start looking for more ammo. And if there's no support players close, then you just go to the ammo boxes, because I don't think they want everybody to feel like they absolutely have to go and run out for a support player or an ammo supply station when they spawn in. So there's a lot of work to do with the attrition in Battlefield 5, that's for sure, and I have no doubt that they will keep tweaking it throughout the life cycle of Battlefield 5. Next, we have a three-part question from Ite Borosh. So, how old are you? I'm currently 26 and feeling like 40. What keyboard and mouse do you use, and your settings, DPI, and key bindings? I'm not going to go through all of these. It would take for goddamn ever. I do, however, have a video that'll have a card in the top right-hand corner that I have my key bindings all explained in there. I think I also have a DPI settings video. If I do, it'll be also in the description down below. But for the mouse, I use a Razer Death Adder Chroma. I love this thing. It is an amazing mouse, and it has a very wide scale of DPI settings that you can use, and a bunch of different settings that you can actually tweak in the Razer Synapse software. And for my keyboard, I use a Z Merc. So before SteelSeries bought out the company called Ideazon, they made these awesome keyboards, and I've had it for like 10 years. They don't make them anymore. They're very hard to find used as well, so if it ever breaks, I'll be very, very sad. I'll have to go back to using a mechanical keyboard, but that is the keyboard and mouse I use. As for DPI settings, real quick, I have a DPI of 600 on my mouse, and it depends on the game that I'm playing. I'll have different sensitivity settings in there as well. And do you play with subscribers? I do. I haven't been playing with subscribers for a while. I've kind of strayed away from Battlefield 1, but I do want to get back into having subscriber events or stuff like that for Battlefield 5, but I'll talk about that more in the future once Battlefield comes out and we see how everything pans out. So last comment / question for today is from Lockie Hayes. How long have you been playing Battlefield? Since the very first title, so what is that, like 14 years now or something like that? With some years that I've played a little bit less Battlefield, but I've played every Battlefield title that has ever come out. Maybe except Battlefield Heroes, that is like a cartoonish version of Battlefield, and Battlefield Free to Play because that thing was a piece of shit. Next, what inspired you to start creating YouTube content? So I watched a lot of creators like Jack Frags before actually starting, and I found it very interesting to actually make content like that, and I had a lot of ideas floating around my head, so I started, you know, just putting stuff out there. It's very hard at first to feel comfortable recording content, but once you get into it, it gets very easy, and I still have a lot of video ideas that I haven't made yet, but that I do plan on making. Sometimes it's just the lack of time. What direction do you want to go in with your channel in the future? Short answer is up. Of course, every content creator wants to see their channel grow. I do, however, want to be better at editing videos and just putting more value into every video as opposed to just getting some gameplay, cutting it up, putting some commentary over it. I want to give the viewer a better viewing experience by adding more stuff. Of course, it does take time to learn all these different things and have the ideas behind all that to actually implement it into a video. I have made videos that have taken me quite a while and that I've given like the viewer or given the video more value and more quality, but I hope to improve my editing skills all over, and you know, just get more techniques in editing that would make the videos even better. Are you still in school/university? And if you have been in uni, what are you studying? I answered that earlier. I'm not in school anymore, but if you want answers to your question, I answered that at the beginning of the video. So that does it for this monthly Q&A. Jesus, almost like 12 minutes already. So I'm gonna end it here. You can always put your Q&A questions for the next monthly Q&A in the comments down below, if not on every live commentary that usually comes out on Sundays. If you have anything to say or add, leave all that in the comments down below. I'll be down there reading comments. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, as I try to release Battlefield and other first-person shooter-related content pretty much every day. And as always, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.